Welcome to the second edition of LPS Locker Room Sports Talk Show. In studio with me today is Coach Ernie Manning of the MacArthur Highlanders. Coach Manning was the head football coach at MacArthur from 1993 through the 2008 season. During those 16 years, Coach Manning's teams made the playoffs 12 times, made 8 quarterfinal appearances, 7 times in the semifinals, and played in the state championship game 3 times. Also during that time, Coach Manning's teams won 6 district championships. He coached 15 all-state football players, and one player, Jamal Brown, made it all the way to the National Football League. July 27th of this past summer, Coach Manning was inducted into the Oklahoma Coaches Association Hall of Fame. And Coach, let me again congratulate you for that. It's very well-deserved recognition. It's quite an honor. Can you share with us a little bit about your thoughts, your feelings when you were first notified that you were actually being inducted?
Thank you, Mike. Joe Tunnell called me. I was in the office at the time, and he said, Ernie, I've got some good news for you. He said, I've got really good news for you. And Joe's an old-time friend of mine, and he said, you've been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and you know, it's a great honor. I do know that I didn't do this by myself, and that I've had the blessing to be around a lot of great players, a lot of great coaches and parents, and it all contributes to my honor, and I realize that, and so gladly, you know, accept this in everybody's behalf.
Well, Coach, we spoke a little bit about your credentials while at MacArthur High School. Can you sort of fill in the gaps for where you were prior to coming to MacArthur?
Started my career at Rush Springs, had an old Tipton player and coach that hired me. Of course, I'm from Tipton, and so Coach Lang hired me there at Rush Springs. I was there, only able to coach with him for 1 year. And then he went elementary principal, and so had another coach come in, and after 3 years, then he left, and so I applied for the job. So I was nowhere near ready, but I was the head coach at Rush Springs for 3 years, and we were pretty average, and I was a very average coach. And from there, looking for something else, and was not happy with the situation. So I went to Chickasha for 6 years, Dennis Cavalier. Went to Chickasha from Wichita, Kansas, and joined his staff. And then Dennis and I traveled to Pampa, Texas for another 6 years, and had success. Dennis is a great coach. He taught me what a program was all about, and the only thing I did was bring what I've learned from Dennis Cavalier to MacArthur. And you couple a really good program that I liked with great coaches and athletes, and you're going to have success.
You've kind of alluded to what was going to be my next question. You've spoken of Dennis Cavalier, and I know I've heard you often talk about the influence he had on your coaching career. How important was it to you, and how important is it to young coaches coming into the profession now to have a veteran coach to kind of mentor them and maybe model for them what a good program's all about?
Extremely important, and you know, there's a lot of coaches that are out there coaching that they just don't realize what a good program is all about, and how you can really exceed and have success with average athletes. Plus, it makes coaching fun. You know, if you have discipline and you got guidelines out, the players have adopted it. They're going to benefit for a lifetime. Coaches are going to benefit. If I was a young coach, then I would identify what a good program's all about, and I sure would try to get on that staff. I think it's going to make or break their career.
Okay, during your career at MacArthur, you have been fortunate enough to be able to not only coach both of your sons during their high school careers, but you have been able to coach alongside your youngest son, Brett, first as head coach, and then he took over the program in 2009, and you continued to work with him as an assistant. How special is that to be able to coach your kids and now to coach alongside one of them?
Oh, it's words can't express how special I think it is. I think that I was a lot better as a head coach, and Brett was under me. Now I've got to take, you know, his advice as a son, and I don't adapt to that very well. Not really. No, I'm just messing with you, Mike. It's been great. It's been great. And Brett's a really good head coach, and I've always said this. He's going to be, because of his experience and his upbringing in a football family, he's going to be a lot better head coach than I ever was, and time will tell. But anyway, it's been very special, and I've very enjoyed coaching both of my two sons, and it's you know, something that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
You know, Coach, on another topic a little bit, we know that athletics is not an inexpensive undertaking, but a couple of dinosaurs like you and I, we understand that every dollar invested in these kids in our athletic programs is money well spent. There's a lot of lessons that we teach kids that transcend the game, that are bigger than the game itself, help these kids turn into quality citizens, good wives, good husbands, fathers, and employees when they graduate. What sort of values and what sort of lessons did you try to instill in your players that you feel like would take them beyond high school and maybe help them be that better citizen?
There's a saying, you do things right, things will turn out right. We try to teach them the value of discipline. You know, if we ask you to do something, do it, and do it at that time. And it turns into coaching, you know, certain techniques that we ask them to do. You do it, and the team will be rewarded. Do things right on the field and off the field, in the classroom. You know, our priority system is you got your faith, and then you got your family, and then football's fourth on the list. Then you've got academics way before football. So we try to preach this to them all the time, each and every day. And you know, it takes, sometimes it doesn't take, but we never ever fail. We don't ever give up on the teaching of our principles: discipline, hard work. You know, you just don't step on the field without preparing during the week and have success week in, week out, year in and year out. And we just feel like all of these values are going to carry over throughout their lifetime. And we've had some feedback from some of our former players that, hey, Coach, I think about this all the time. You come every day, you're here on time, you work hard, and you have a good attitude. And you know, so it's a value to them. And that's, you know, if you're just in it for the wins, then you're in it for the wrong thing. And we take pride in our work and in helping these young kids grow up and have a good life themselves.
I was at the Hall of Fame banquet in July, and one of the things that was very obvious to me was that there was a large contingent of supporters there from Lawton in southwest Oklahoma, your family. There was just a large group there to support you and share in that time of recognition. What were your emotions as you stood on the stage, received your Hall of Fame plaque, and to be able to look out there and see so many people there who felt compelled to go to make that trip to Tulsa and support you and share in that time with you?
Amazing, you know, that everybody would be willing to do that and support this. And I've been blessed with some great coaches, great friends, and of course, great family. Just feel really blessed when you're up there and you're honored, and they're all willing to share this honor with you.
Well, Coach, we all have to leave coaching eventually, and you and I know have talked some throughout the years when I was coaching alongside you at MacArthur about legacy, and we'd teach our teams, how are you going to be remembered, what will you leave behind? And I believe that you're going to have a very strong, positive legacy to leave behind you when you decide that you've been on the sideline long enough. I learned a lot from coaching with you and appreciate the family atmosphere. And I just want to congratulate you once again and just let you know I believe it's one of the most deserved honors that a person could have, and you certainly deserve the respect that goes along with that. But for now, that pretty well wraps up our first edition of the Profile Show. And when you see a coach this week, pat them on the back and say thank you for all they do for the kids in our community. For now, good day and God bless.